President Rooney, Provost Gribats, faculty colleagues, Mr. Larkin, honored guests, graduates, families, and friends, please allow me to add my warm welcome and my heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you. This is clearly not the graduation you envisioned. We know that. But nonetheless, it is a day of great reflection, joy, and gratitude. As we reflect together on all that you have accomplished during these very uncertain and challenging times to bring you this incredibly joyous moment, let's be grateful for what is most certain and most enduring, the blessings of your unwavering, powerful, and loving relationships. Each one of you has been supported every step of the way by your extended families and by your close friends. These relationships have nourished you, kept you afloat, sustained you, and inspired you. As our Pope teaches us, life is about these loving relationships. In fact, our most recent brain research confirms that these relationships are not only indispensable to happiness and well-being. We know that's true. They're also vital to the construction of your professional knowledge, and your skills, and your values. Skills like empathy, respect, listening, and kindness are sometimes belittled these days as soft skills. But we know there's nothing soft about them. They are critical to your professional success. They distinguish merely good professionals from exceptional, loyal professionals like you all. Some of you have studied in China, in Chicago, some in Rome, and all of you have studied now, at least in part, online. But each one of you has been inspired by kinships with your faculty and your colleagues to become caring and collaborative critical thinkers and innovators. And as you know already, those kinships include our wonderful alumni family as well. Our alumni have counseled you, taught you, mentored you, helped you to find careers, and supported you with scholarships and fellowships. And so we know that like those who have gone before you and helped you along the way, you too, graduates, will continue to keep your loyal family close to your hearts. But friends, Pope Francis also reminds us that when you go forth from this day and grow in responsibility and impact, you must also grow in tenderness. Tenderness? Yes, tenderness. Tenderness is not weakness. It is fortitude. It's a love that comes close and becomes real. Overflows with small gestures of mutual care and makes itself felt in every action by you that seeks to build a better world. As students of this great law school, as members of this great Loyola family, you have learned lifelong habits of mind and of heart that will not only help you to become exceptional professionals, but also help you to continue to build a better world through loving relationships based on tenderness with your families, your classmates, your colleagues, clients, communities, and yes, with perfect strangers. You not only acquired knowledge of the law and of justice, but you, graduates, have actively pursued justice, and you've already transformed your communities through thousands of hours of volunteer public interest work. We are so grateful to you, the class of 2020, for your leadership in making our law school and our profession more diverse, inclusive, and equitable. And so we know that you will use your education to work hard to dismantle the insidious and systemic racial injustice that permeates our communities as well. So graduates, we have not just prepared the path for you, we have prepared you for the path. We hope that you'll allow us to keep on walking with you as you're inspired by our mission to care deeply for each other and to use your talents, tenacity, and your tenderness in the service of and with others. We know that with the loving care of your families and your extended Loyola family, you all will continue to build the future of justice for us all. So on this day, graduates, we have so much to be joyous about. and so much to be grateful for. Congratulations. And now it is my great pleasure to invite Amani Holly, your wonderful Student Bar Association president, to share a message of reflection with the class of 2020.
Thank you, Dean Kaufman. James Baldwin once said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." Class of 2020, this class, our class, is filled with advocates that are destined to change the world as we know it. Many of us came into law school passion blazing as we took on the burden of being both a law student and a social activist, neither of which are easy. We clocked in long hours of studying property and constitutional law, and in the same breath, spent hours and days in meetings with our administration and faculty. We fought for our voices to be heard at Loyola, and they were. We were able to start a mandatory first-year cultural competency course, begin the workings of gender-neutral bathrooms, bring diverse voices and experiences to campus through programming and events, and elect the first Black woman SBA president. While many of us were fighting for equity throughout our campus and our city, others were silent. Others had the privilege of just focusing on civil procedure or contracts. Others had the privilege of just being a law student. Others did not have to feel the impact of being from a marginalized community. Others complained about the change that we fought for. Others pushed us down while we were already fighting to get up. But just as MLK said, our lives begin to end the day that we become silent. Even in the heat of opposition, class of 2020, we still rose. Even in a pandemic, we reached the finish line. We've defeated every obstacle and challenge that has come our way. When everything went left, we gathered our things and continued going right. We have had disappointment after disappointment, and somehow we have still been able to turn glitter into gold. Thank you to our fearless administration and faculty that has stood and fought against injustice with us. Thank you to our friends and family who held us up during the times we could not hold ourselves up. Thank you for carrying us as we broke down from not understanding Rule 12b-6 or the rules against perpetuities, which I still don't understand. Thank you to our friends and partners who spent hundreds of dollars on boat crews and barrister tickets and outfits. Thank you to our parents that loved on us and supported us through this long and bumpy journey. We could not have done it without you. Our stories are not complete. This is just one chapter closed. As we begin our next chapter, in the middle of our bar prep season, we are watching our country fight for Black lives. Many of us joining the fight, our actions mirroring exactly what we have done in law school. As we clock in hours of lectures and practice questions, we are also stepping to the front line and advocating for what is right. As we progress through our exciting and successful careers, let us not forget the people who will never have the opportunity to accomplish their dreams and goals, who will never get to thank their families for holding them up, who will never get to see America be the inclusive country it has failed to be for more than 400 years. Let us remember Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Dominique Remy Fels, Mike Ramos, Rhea Milton, Sean Monterosa, Rayshard Brooks, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Ricardo Diaz-Zeferino, Emmett Till, and thousands of others who have died every day at the hands of injustice. Class of 2020, we have embodied Loyola's social justice mission, and we carry it with us as we matriculate into the world. We are speaking up for those who are deliberately silenced and preferably unheard. As we transition into the legal profession, as we step into courtrooms and boardrooms, as we become public defenders and prosecutors, as we become law firm partners and international mediators, as we become child advocates and immigration attorneys, as we become arbitrators and law school professors, we will become the difference and the change the world needs to see. Congratulations, class of 2020. I am beyond excited to see the change we will bring into the world. And now I'd like to welcome our keynote speaker, Jerome Larkin.
President Rooney, Provost Gravats, Dean Kaufman, honored guests, graduates, families, and friends. Graduates, congratulations. Well done. Take a virtual bow. Family, friends, administration, faculty, and staff, congratulations to you as well. You have nurtured and supported our graduates. Graduates, offer a sign of your gratefulness, even if virtual, to those who have helped you to this day. The career paths that you choose may not be easy, but will provide great promise for our society. Continue to seek out and provide support to each other. We gather today at a time when our society is showing openness to addressing the evils of racism and persistent inequities. President Rooney has issued a powerful statement of outrage at the acts of violence perpetrated by police against people of color, and called upon the provost to gather Loyola experts to offer concrete actions to eliminate racism and other malignancies that tear at our democracy. Provost Gravats and his team have delivered a concrete action plan. It is a day of great promise, a challenging time to embark upon a career as legal professionals committed to service and to justice, whether in the practice of law or using your skills in aid of another career. Know that you will stand on the shoulders of Loyola difference makers in our society. A bit later, a few stories to illustrate that truth. Society places great responsibility on us. We take on high-stake, high-pressure issues. Mistakes do happen. I make more than my share of them. Just ask my colleagues at the ARDC and my family. Giving ourselves permission to take risks and then to make mistakes and then move forward responsibly are keys to success. When you make a mistake, and you will, take a breath and reach out to someone to discuss how to fix it. Ignored mistakes rarely disappear. Addressing mistakes provides opportunity for growth. Graduates, you have reason to be proud of yourselves. In a few years, under the guidance of faculty and in journey with your classmates, you have developed yourselves into legal professionals. Your degrees from Loyola reflect that reality. Loyola continues to deliver on its commitment to be student-focused and inspired by the Jesuit tradition of academic excellence, intellectual openness, and service to others. You have benefited from your years at Loyola. Those lessons will affect your careers and lives profoundly. While at Loyola, you have changed the law school for the better as well. For example, you advocated the inclusion of a required 1L course focusing on professional development. That course, which is well received, prepares students to practice ethically, to seek justice, and to protect the rule of law. The course includes focus on elimination of bias and on diversity and inclusion principles. You have and will continue to face challenges that no other graduating class has had to navigate. COVID-19, sheltering in place, virtual classes and tests, and now a virtual commencement ceremony. Yet, you are here. You have much to offer as you move forward in your careers. As one example, the legal services marketplace needs your generation's insight and fresh approaches to solve access to justice issues that harm many with civil legal problems who navigate those matters without the benefit of counsel. Providing a more efficient legal marketplace may also provide more opportunity for legal professionals to earn a living. The late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is well known to all of us for his commitment to social justice for all, and more particularly, the elimination of racism that cruelly affects Black Americans. He preached with passion, but also with hope. That hope is reflected in his often repeated call to us to remember and believe that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Justice, the rule of law. How will we respond to those imperatives? As graduates of Loyola, let's think about that for a moment. Let's inform ourselves about the call of justice. Let's clarify our purpose, recognizing that our own discernment of our calling will likely differ from that of others. Our society and we as a profession appear ready to face the great challenges in elimination of the systemic, institutional racism that harms our communities of color. The journey of Black Americans in our society is burdened by discrimination and bias, at times implicit. Seeing videos of brutal police killings of Black Americans has led Americans of all ethnicities and all races to demand social justice reform. Again, the question to us is, how will we become advocates for justice and the rule of law? The principal precepts of our law school's mission statement. Graduates, as our society faces difficult challenges, members of our Loyola Law family have provided us with models to inspire us to answer our own call in our own way. Loyola Law professor, the late George Anastopoulos, Loyola Law graduates Roger Bela and Terry Hake are role models. Each acted courageously and out of principle as he saw it, knowingly putting at risk career and prosperity. While their choices affected their career paths, those careers were vibrant and productive. Professor Anastopoulos was denied admission to the Illinois bar by single vote majority decisions of the Illinois and the United States Supreme Courts, because out of principle, he had refused to answer questions about his political beliefs and affiliations, including whether he was a member of the Communist Party. Professor Anastopoulos' life journey is eloquently recounted by Loyola Law professor Barry Sullivan in an in memoriam dedication to which he and other faculty colleagues contributed. That tribute is published in our law journal, volume 45 at page 915, a publication in 2014. Anastopoulos served as a professor of law at Loyola for more than 3 decades. In the memorial dedication to Anastopoulos, Professor Sullivan observed of his friend and colleague, "For George, the notions of the good lawyer and the good person were closely related, if not inextricably intertwined. Although George never practiced law, he knew far better than many practicing lawyers the essential character of law practice as a moral enterprise." Roger J. Bala also recognizes that the practice of law is a moral exercise. Bala served as in-house corporate counsel and manager of regulatory affairs for a U.S. distributor of kidney dialysis machines manufactured by its German parent company. In 1985, after the president of the U.S. company authorized acceptance of a shipment of adulterated dialysers, Bala told the president that he would do whatever was necessary to stop the sale of the dialysers. While such courageous action was also required by lawyers' rules of professional conduct, it is equally clear that Mr. Bala recognized a moral imperative to protect the lives of those on dialysis. Bala was discharged from his employment and, upon his report, the FDA seized the shipment of dialysers and determined that those products were adulterated. Mr. Bala maintained active status within the Illinois bar for 55 years until his retirement earlier this year. A moral dilemma presented itself to Terrence Hake very early in his career. As an assistant state's attorney in Cook County in the late 1970s, he observed behaviors that he concluded involved corrupt practices by lawyers and judges. After soul-searching, and at great personal cost, he reported his concerns to the FBI, acted as an undercover informant, posing first as a corrupt ASA and later as a dishonest defense counsel. He cooperated as a witness in many federal criminal trials against those accused in what became known as Operation Greylord, which resulted in the conviction or discipline of over 100 lawyers and judges. Following that service, Terry was employed by the FBI and various governmental agencies, including, again recently, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. He has written a book about his experience and is a frequent lecturer. Terry is now retired from the practice of law. Indeed, Professor Anastopoulos is correct. The practice of law does have an essential moral dimension. The experiences of these three Loyola role models show that acting on that moral imperative is critical. Graduates, as you navigate long and productive careers, you may be called upon to answer difficult questions. Be ready to struggle with challenging choices. A career of meaning will be your reward. In closing, your journey that has led you to this virtual graduation today makes you ready to take on the responsibilities of a legal professional. Congratulations. Please accept my warm welcome to an association of talented, professionally committed, and engaged legal professionals that is the Loyola Law alumni. I would now like to invite Dean Kaufman to give some final remarks.
And now we would like to recognize by name the graduates from the class of 2020 from the School of Law.
I would now like to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws. Andres Aleman Lopez. Ahmed Saeed A. Al-Shiki. Tush Arit Sinaroglu. Pramagdaya Banerjee Chakraborty. Simona Baresi. Akaki Barides. Mary Goretti Bayamugisha. Julie Lynn Campbell. Anna Melissa Correa Levy. Ryan Nathaniel Davis. Maria Depush Gisha. Alpha S. Diallo. Donna Marie Doblick. Mustafa Osman Mohammed El Hassan El Bashir. Thomas V. Faragoy. Nathaniel Ray Flinchbaugh. Ashley Nicole Graham. Yassine Ghoul. Nurailan Mulugeta Gurmesa. Dai Hong He. Abiola Razidat Idawu Ojo. Dalal Fahmy Samad Jabir. Ryan Johnson. Birdie Jones. Amelia Yovanovich Jareel. Colleen Elizabeth Kirkpatrick. Joseph Casole. Karen Koyasu. Ying Chi Lee. Makeda Laikun Yeshena. Monthatizi Machefa. Rushlin Mamudov. Emily Elizabeth Mann. Suzanne Marangoni Molina. Liesel Gray Martin III. Laura Arlene Miguel Rodriguez. Abdikareem Hassan Mohammed. Mustafa Imad Mustafa. Abigail Ndo Oka. Aikmifun Chinadum Onilogu. Ibrahim Reza. Ana Carolina Rivera Rios. Brianna Robinson. Leslie Ann Robinson. Javier Saldana Palacios. Moan Sanda. Sinan Sari. Ashton Schatz. Marshall Taylor Scott. Neo Kitso Sharp. Clay Sullivan. Mark Tetzlaff. Adrienne Thompson. Donald William Tomlinson. Fernando Rafael Torres. Paul Wayne Tripp. I would now like to present the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. Rudy Siriakonwi Abam. Annabelle Abarca. Deanna Elise Abarad. Miriam J. Ahmad. Diana Josephine Akmikjin. Alaman Amin Amer, magna cum laude. Kevin R. Anderson. Beverly Ifioma Igo Ananye. Nicephorus S. Argyropoulos. Monica Alexandria Ayala Delgado. Eva M. Baker. Brian J.C. Ballone, magna cum laude. Kenya K. Barbara. Kevin Daniel Barden. Kaylee Ann Barrett, magna cum laude. Hannah Rose Batchi. Madeline Beck. Jonathan David Beisinger. Alexandra Rose Benigni. James L. Bettinger. Michael Paul Bobrow. Andreas A. Bodmeyer, cum laude. Raquel Botten, magna cum laude. Cameron J. Botticelli. Matthew K. Brennan. Allison R. Brooks. Amanda D. Bulot, magna cum laude. Tara Jo Carone. Stephanie M. Chambliss. Reed Lanier Chisenhall. Brittany Nicole Christensen. Maria M. Cianci, cum laude. Michael A. Suyula. Nathaniel Richmond Cobbett. Tony Marie Coleman, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Yvonne Collins. Haley L. Camella, cum laude. Christina Morgan Connolly. Robert C. Cooney. Brett John Cosick, cum laude. Joe P. Costa. Evan James Creel Gould, cum laude. Elizabeth Ashley Cronin. Julia L. Cernansky. Chris Curry. Jillian Marie Svengros, cum laude. Catherine C. Zinke, cum laude. Richard E. Daniels. Kamaya K. Davis. Matthew C. DeGrange. Christopher Brooks Dempsey, magna cum laude. Julian Daniel Di Donato, cum laude. Mary Olivia Donahue. Scott M. Dyer. Lily Lorianne Ely. Crystal Jennifer Esom, magna cum laude. Kyra Eddy, cum laude. Roland Arthur Edwards. Emily Catherine Eggman, magna cum laude. John M. Elias. Ian Albert Elliott. Joshua N. Epstein. Salah Fahmy. Daniel W. Farrell. Jessica L. Fenton, cum laude. Jordan R. Freisinger, cum laude. Teresa C. Gaglione, magna cum laude. Sarah Belda Galeli. Charlotte C. Galvin. Rebecca Renee Garcia, magna cum laude. Pasquale D. Gianni. Ashley D. Giles Perkins. Benjamin J. Green. Suzanne P. Grossman, cum laude. Haley Surstad Hafner. Ardog J. Hodgenazarian. Gabrielle Diane Hunke. Jessica Harrison, magna cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Havern. Kenneth Neil Habeisen, magna cum laude. Carly A. Hellman, summa cum laude. Claire Eaton Henleben. Elizabeth Vale Heredia. Sergio Hernandez. Celeste Herr. Jackson Robert Hicks, cum laude. Taquia M. Hicks Delgado. Gabriela Margarita Hidalgo. Connor G. Higgins. Brianna Jordan Hill, magna cum laude. Peter Joseph Hilgemeyer. Alessandra Hope Haline. Imani Gabrielle Holly. Brandon T. Honing. Nicole M. Hughes. Andre Allen Hunter. Sean P. Hux. Enzo C. Hines. Seema Imam. Gino Dominic Jacobazzi, magna cum laude. Amina Zakia Jaffer. Jeconias Salathiel Ethel James. Daniel L. Johnson. Kristen Marie Johnson. Rachel Lynn Johnson. Seth E. Johnson. Amanda Elizabeth Jolly. Bailey Grace Jones. Kate Lynn Youngers. Natalie Kaiser. Kevin Leonard Canavy. John A. Kasserman. Loxley Morgan Keala. Megan Etain Haight Keeley, magna cum laude. Ann M. Kelly. Rachel Barbara Kemmel. Zachary T. Kershka. Sameen Melarine Kodavandi. Kurt William Kingler, magna cum laude. Catherine G. Klimkowski. Emily Catherine Knox, cum laude. Blake Lauren Kalasaki. Shelby Elise Cost, magna cum laude. Jeremy Richard Critt, magna cum laude. Lydia Gale Lamont. Alana Barbara Lawton. Hannah Lee. Hannah Margaret Lehman. Eric Lemberg. Joseph J. Lewis, magna cum laude. Keisha Elizabeth Lewis. Mary Elizabeth Liberty, cum laude. Crystal N. Lowry. Jessica Catherine Lubin. Nicole J. McMillan. Edward John Mahan. Taylor John Major. Catherine E. Malcolm. Monica J. Malik. Mark Dennis Maloney Jr. Alexander J. Marsh. Abigail M. Marshall. Patricia Martin. Isabella A. Massini, cum laude. Pratyusha Matam, cum laude. Peter M. McCool. Emily A. McGuire, magna cum laude. Claire Therese McEwen, magna cum laude. Katie Kotanias McLaughlin. Ariel Breon McPherson. Pilar G. Mendez. Christina J. Mendoza. Paul Anthony Marola Jr. Anna Lawrence Metzger, magna cum laude. Rachel Susan Miller. Christian Lord James Mitchell, cum laude. Amber L. Montgomery. Colleen M. Morris. Drew T. Morton. Sarah Munzer, cum laude. Michael R. Murphy. Joseph Brian Muska, magna cum laude. Cassandra Eileen Nagel. Aiden V. Natal. Sneha Naishadam. Crystal A. Ochoa. Gregory M. O'Connor. David William O'Donohue, summa cum laude. Hannah E. O'Keefe, magna cum laude. Gabriella Alexandra Orozco. Carrie Sejin Park. Neetu Patel. Scott Pelletier, cum laude. Christina I. Perez Tineo. Alexandra Sophie Pajovich. Mitchell Poltersdorf. Nicholas Portillo. Andrew J. Potter, magna cum laude. Nicole M. Provax. Nicholas Luis Ramirez, cum laude. Alessandra Noel Reedy. Xochitl G. Rodriguez. Trevor A. Rogers, cum laude. Natasha Michelle Roman. Courtney Lynn Rosenfield, magna cum laude. Savannah Rain Roundtree. Christina M. Salviola. Anurit K. Sandhu. Michael Christopher Senko, cum laude. Keely Ann Sawyer, magna cum laude. Ryan G. Scandalia, cum laude. Samantha Grace Shatko. Brooke Heather Schlichtman. Natasha M. Seaton. Sarah Sewell, cum laude. Dara Vimesh Shah. Nicole Nadia Shamoon, cum laude. Melissa C. Shannon. Benjamin D. Shaw, magna cum laude. Hayden Adam Sherwood, cum laude. Justin Ian Sia. Catherine E. Seavey, cum laude. Darren E. Slayton. Jacqueline Rose Plonsey Smith, cum laude. Kelsey Lee Smith, magna cum laude. Marshall Torula Snow. Jessica M. Soto. Brianna M. Stager. Hannah Kathleen Sweeney, cum laude. Nicolette Anna Tabor. Amanda R. Tagliarino, magna cum laude. Jason Taken, cum laude. Brianna Susan Tancher. Ava Pauline Mary Tarka. Joseph Edward Smith Tenale. Catherine Talbot Thayer, cum laude. Catherine Ann Thomas, cum laude. Marissa Anna Tisbo. Jesse Theodore Tobin. William A. Trabaris. Lone Kim Tran, magna cum laude. Jerome Tutai. Madeline Renee Utter. Tegan Dawn Vaughn. Fabiola E. Villalpando. Aaron Wanger Ward. Ryan M. Wells. Bailey Whitsitt, cum laude. Kristen D. Williams, cum laude. Margaret E. Williams. Denise R. Wilson. Peyton E. Windell, cum laude. Francisca Trinidad Wolfenson Schimanelli, cum laude. Bria Charday Womack. Mariah R. Woodson. Cameron Kenji Woolley, cum laude. Matthew Yasuoka. I would now like to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Jurisprudence. Shilpa Amin. Kristen Kara Anderson. Johanna Artiaga. Andrea Bardock. Greg Barreras. Jennifer Baccadano. Lori Benner. Jessica Bounds. Lauren M. Bren. Clarissa Francis Bondarovich. Suzanne Allaire Bullitt. Sarah Cooper Can. Brendan Joseph Canty. Haley Cleveland. Christina Conroy. Catherine Collini. Ridthi Ashok Dupthari. Joseph Francis DeBellis. Michelle D. DeWarrett. Shanna Lane Idy. Lauren Jeanette Engel. Pasha Marie Enos. Carrie Irvin. Erica Espinoza. Cecilia Ann Estip. Pennybeth Faulkner. Brittany Nicole Folia. Roberta Frigerio. Delilah Garcia. Monica Garrick Drago. Natalie Gonzalez. Kimberly Grenzevich. Margarita Gazar. Amy Hall. Ashanti Joy Holly. Kelly Hart. Amanda Faye Henderson. Lumina Herr. Jacqueline Hoover. Pamela Annette Howard. Quinglon Hu. Annabelle Runa Introwitz. Evelyn Candice Hasso. Patricia Lynn Chesser Jean-Pierre Hicks. Erica Jimenez. Carl Johnson. Phanasia Johnson. Javaris Jones. Thomas Charles Keeling. Mackenzie Kelly. Katie Jean Kiecaver. Kelly Kiesling. Emmeline Kim. Kelsey Kimball. Marquetta A. Lewis. Lendiwe Mamba. Nicole Hartwell Martin. Christina Martinez. Lola Martinez. Tara Lynn Martino. Laura Maddie. Deanna Joy Mayo. Richard Patrick McCann. Brianne McNeil. Elizabeth Mitchell. Maxine Monday. Amanda Moran. Candace Newman. Deanna M. Onequo. Mary Niamaka Onwuma. Carrie Marie Osborne, Lucy Otieno, Nina Oza, Allison Panzarella, Corey Phillips O'Neill, Giselle Forbes, Sue Lynn Prisant, Angela Remmers, Maria Rokita, Cheyenne Lachelle Ross, Christina Marie Rowley, Alfiani Safitri, Alexis Schreiber, Nicole E. Scott, Stacy Sharps, Stephanie Lynn Sherban, Ines Sigler, Brandon Simmons, Brittany Smith, Ronald Smith, Teresa Marie Smithrud, Lindsay Brianne Templeton, James Arthur Tenbrink, Megan E. Tengerstrom, Audriana Thomas, Jennifer Ann Thurmond, Maria Tomac, Daniel Stephen Sang, Angela Nicole Ward, Contrail Washington, Deirdre Suzanne Weiss, Conan Pascal Yao, Karina Yielding, Milagros Izquierdo, Angel Zarecki, I would now like to present the candidates for the Certificate Privacy Law. Jenna Katusa, Charlene Taylor Story, I would now like to present the candidates for the Certificate School Discipline Reform. Catherine Abeda, Kristen Challey, Danielle Colvert, Gavin Colvert, Teresa Gibson. China Hampton. Charmaine Hillary. Jesse Keith. Andrew Ketchum. Robert Lopez. Jasmine Stiles. Adrienne Van Zwol.